Welcome back. The government has proposed an over-the-hill community development partnership initiative. We're very pleased to be joined this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise by Dr. Nicola Virgil-Rolle, head of the Economic Planning Unit in the Office of the Prime Minister, and of course Kemi Jones from 8 Mile Rock. We were just discussing before we came back on live. He is the program manager for the partnership. Good morning, Doc. Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Yeah, very interesting. This is another one of those things that has been making the news. And you know, I guess we can probably start off first of all with a couple of definitions. Yes. Let's begin with over the hill. Describe to viewership exactly what we talk about when we say the over the hill area.
Well, of course, the over the hill area in as many forms is one of those historic areas that it's you know, in the hearts of souls of people. But for the purpose of this project, the initial phase of this project, I would say, we're defining it as the area between Nassau Street in the west, between West Avenue or just west of Collins Avenue. And then our southern borders are looking at Wolf Road and Poinciana Drive as well. And then running an imaginary line across from Meeting Street. So just the brink, the ridge of the hill and downwards.
So you guys were very careful to call it the Over the Hill Community Development Partnership Initiative. So when we talk about this particular program, which is intended to stimulate economic activity in the urban areas, how will this be done?
And as you mentioned, it's a partnership. And so we want to make sure that everyone feels involved in the process. And so it's a partnership with government, of course, providing public policy, providing legislation, providing resources. We're looking also at civil society as well, because they provide many of the services already in this community. And of course, the importance of advocacy. We're looking at the private sector for other partnerships, financial partnerships as well. And then also academia for innovation, research capabilities. And then at the heart of this is the over the hill community. So we want to make sure that people from this area are part of the project. They are the conscience of the project, providing leadership and guidance in the project.
Definitely, they are the original partner.
Exactly.
And of course, we'll just jump right into another definition. You know, when people talk about tax-free zones, and I mean, obviously, you know, Grand Bahama, Freeport in particular comes to mind. Is this designed to be a similar type of jumpstart to, you know, an economy?
So we're looking at a variety of approaches, and I think we are preparing a white paper, which is important to help us define better and scope out the types of incentives that will be available. And it's all part of the economic empowerment process that we're looking at. And so we're going to be looking at all of the taxes available and seeing where best to reduce, provide incentives, but most importantly, to ensure that there's good corporate social responsibility clauses built into it, so that to access the incentives, there's also give back is required as well.
Well, so Kemi, you are the program manager, obviously, for this. It's brand new. I mean, you guys have been operational for a couple of months now. Where are you in the process?
Well, we have been doing some of the desktop research for the past few months, as well as meeting with key stakeholders. We've met with internally with government agencies who provide some of the essential services in the Over the Hill community right now. We've also been meeting with some of the community leaders and stakeholders. And just last week, Thursday, we held a town hall meeting, primarily targeted at persons living in the Bain and Grantstown, in the area that Dr. Rowe just described, trying to get the view of all the residents and businesses directly impacted by this program once it's launched.
What are you saying to them? I mean, when you meet with them, you know, obviously, you know, you're coming with a new initiative. There's a lot of expectations that are, you know, what are you saying to them when you meet with them?
Well, it's not so much what we're saying to them as what they're saying to us. So of course, you know, we can do whatever research we want, and we've held certain meetings already. But the key question is more validation. You know, we've heard that the issues of the standpipes or the pit latrines, that's a problem. So it's more validating. Is this really a key focus of yours? Is this really something that you need done in the immediate and the not too distant future? So it's about getting the guidance from them, because at the end of the day, it is the Over the Hill community itself, the residents and businesses. That has to make it happen. They're the ones who are driving this process, not us.
All right. The government has committed or is committing $5 million per year to such areas in social and economic empowerment, rejuvenation, smart and green technology. You spoke about this earlier, and of course, youth development. Can you elaborate a little bit on what some of those plans are?
Right. So As we talk to community leaders and to stakeholders in the community, we understand, some of the key issues that are out there. And so as Kemi would have mentioned about, the issues of rejuvenation. So we're looking at improving the physical surroundings of this community with the residents, by the residents, and being sustained with them. And so things like the sandpipes, things like looking at cleanup efforts as well, and not just one-time cleanup efforts, but sustained efforts, and looking at the root causes of why there may be issues with keeping the environment in its best possible way. And so we're working with residents to do things like that. Then of course there's social empowerment, which is a major part of this work. And so social empowerment deals with things like making sure that there are enough training opportunities in the community, targeted towards things that may be useful for community residents. Looking at the social intervention programs that are there, youth training opportunities as well. We have an element that deals with making sure that whatever we do is smart. And so bringing in technology, and so that's why, one of our first initiatives was to partner with the Ministry of Education in the tablet distribution at the Willard Patton School to show the intersection of learning with technology, with the Willard Patton School and preschoolers learning with their tablets and having that great opportunity. And then also green technologies as well, so making sure that we provide incentives through government policy for things like solarization of the community.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, when you start talking about all these different initiatives and incentives, obviously, in any economic environment, people are going to flock to where they see the opportunity. There may be a real threat relative to gentrification and displacement of the same people that you're actually trying to protect. I mean, how are you preparing for this? How do you intend on addressing, the possibility of this?
So it's important to ensure that we have growth with the population that's there. And so displacement is a major issue that we are building into to ensure that there's smart policy to ensure that that does not happen. So the issue of gentrification has come up many times, and we want to make sure that people understand that it's growth with them. So that's been a priority and a mandate given to us to operate in such a manner. But it is going to become a much more attractive area. And we want to make sure that one of the key issues is that living there is still affordable. And so ensuring that there's good legislation around affordable housing, making sure that there is responsibilities to renters as well, and making sure that there's affordable housing options so that people have many options from renting to owning so that they can live in this community which they currently call home.
Yeah. Kemi, I would imagine not just people who live over the hill, a lot of persons would probably have some thoughts and ideas on how this can work. Tell us how the unit is actually set up and how others who can participate in this particular partnership.
Well, for us right now, I mean, it is very much a free-flowing of ideas. But firstly, put it out there. If anyone has any thoughts and ideas and they want to contribute to the process, if we've not gotten to you as yet, please feel free to call us at 702-5565 or 702-5566. So far, we started off our process by reaching out to persons in the Overhill community via the town hall meetings. But beyond that, the rest of the structure now involves going into more specific detailed meetings, including meetings specifically with the business community to get their thoughts and views, and actually tapping into smaller micro meetings just with certain select groups in Baintown and in Centerville to get the thoughts and views of everyone and every form of the diaspora.
At the end of the day, Dr. Rowe, what do you see? What's the end product?
Well, we see a rejuvenated over the hill community where it's a great place to live, where issues like water access for all is taken care of, where things like the outside toilet is eliminated, and you see piped water in homes. You want to see places also where it's vibrant in terms of businesses growing there, expanding there. People are working. People feel very much empowered. They're owning businesses as well. Small businesses operating in the area or outside of the area as well. And so we want to see a much more rejuvenated place where so many people call home or are from originally. Excellent.
Nicola, Kemi, thank you so much for joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise. We're looking to learn more about the process and seeing how we can contribute. Yes. And of course, you're welcome back at any time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.